Now, this is called the time management grid. This was developed by a very renowned author known as Stephen Covey in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, lots of people will tell you that this is a must read, you must read this book, it's a fantastic read. I'm sure it is, but honestly, I couldn't finish it. And if you are able to, then hats off to you, but somehow I couldn't do it. Now, what I'll suggest is just go to the net and take down a summary of this book and go through it, maybe just a 10-page summary, that would be sufficient. But first of all, let us take a look at this grid. Now, there are 4 quadrants in this grid, and on the left side, on the vertical axis, we have importance, and on the top, on the horizontal axis, we have urgency. So let's take a look at quadrant 1. It says something that is urgent as well as important. So this is something like our assignment. It's firefighting now. We have to somehow complete it by morning, submit it by morning, otherwise we're losing marks. What happens in such a situation? The output suffers. The quality of output suffers. Now let's just compare it to something else. Let's take it to quadrant 2. I have given you the assignment today. 2 days from now, or let's say this weekend, the assignment is still very important. Like it says, it's important, but it is not urgent. All right? This is the time we can actually create a lot of quality. So this is the quality time. So if we just make a few adjustments in our life and stop living in quadrant 1, in which we live all the time, and move on to quadrant 2, things would be much better for us. All right? Another thing, let's take a look at quadrant 3 and 4 also. It says it's urgent but not important. What could this be? It's very, very urgent but not important. Let's suppose there's a sale of Levi's going on, a 50% sale of Levi's that's going to get over in 6 hours. So you have to reach the mall, you have to grab that pair of jeans before the sale is over. So I understand the urgency. Of course, it's absolutely important. You need to get that pair of Levi's. Understood. Now let's look at the other quadrant. It says neither important nor urgent. Now this is the quadrant, neither important nor urgent, where we spend 70% of the time. Of course, we have to chat with friends. Of course, we have to be on Facebook. Of course, we have to watch those movies. We have to go window shopping. These things are so important. And there is where we spend all our quality time. But I don't know why. Maybe you can understand it better. Stephen Covey calls it time wasting. Now, I leave it to you. Analyze. Do you want to live here or here or here? It's your choice. This is going to be the quality of your output. That takes us to the next thing. Now, what you have on your screen is quantitative aptitude, analytical reasoning, and logical thinking. This is something that Mr. Vamsi Krishna will take you through. The last part talks about verbal ability, which we will do at the end of this presentation. So let me move on to the next thing. All right. Take a look at this. It talks about interview skills. Now, this is something that gives us absolute nightmares. Campus recruitment is just a few months away, and companies will be coming to our campus. What's going to happen, we don't know. Now, believe me, it's a fact. It is a well-researched fact that your answers in the interview are not something that is, given 100% weightage. There is something else that is even more important. The time at which you knock on the door, starting from the time when you knock at the door, the time to which you come inside the room, pull a chair, sit down, wish the people who are over there, your dress up from your head to toe, the way you nod, the way you smile, everything carries a lot of weightage. And believe me, I have experienced something. From the moment you enter the room of the interview to the time you are seated and you speak your first word, 60% of the interview is over. 60% of the interview is over. You've created your impression. Either it's a make or a break. Of course, I would not say that if something major happens, you stumble over something, oh, come on, it's not a big deal. These things happen to everybody. But that tells us something so important, that it's not just the content that is inside you, it is your etiquette that is equally important. All right? So we will take you in detail through the interview process. We will have lots of mock interviews. We'll tell you about dressing, about shaking hands, about body language, everything, the A to Z of interview skills. Stress management, extremely important, extremely important. How do you feel these days? Exams are on, we are totally stressed out. Come to think of it, think about it for a moment. Today, what are the roles that you're playing in your life? Maybe you're a son or a daughter, probably you're a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a brother or sister, a child. You know, you have parents, you are somebody's kid. And what's going to happen tomorrow? You'll be a father or mother, a son-in-law or a daughter-in-law. You'll have, you know, aunt and uncle to lots of people. And in addition to that, you're going to be an employee or an entrepreneur, playing with money, playing with other people's lives, doing lots of things. What's the stress going to be at that time? Can you ever imagine? No, don't get scared. I'm not trying to scare you. All I'm trying to tell you is that we have to start building ourselves from today. We move on to value education and integrity. I think this is something that I don't believe in speaking much about. How we hope to inculcate value education and integrity is something that you will experience through the process. When we have team games, when we have interactions with you, when we give you projects to do, this is something that is going to be assessed at each and every moment. Move on to team spirit. All right, can someone tell me the meaning of synergy? What is synergy? Ever heard of this word called synergy? Well, in very simple terms, I would say synergy is when you add 2 plus 2 and the result is what? Yes, engineer, sirs, what is the result? No, it is not 4, it is 10. Why am I saying that? Let me explain you with an example. Let's suppose we're working together and I assign you a project that you have to go visit some locality, and over there you need to interact with the people of that locality. Let's suppose it's a below poverty line locality. Interact with the people over there, find out what are their problems, analyze the solution to those problems, prepare a case report, prepare a presentation, and please deliver the presentation in front of your colleagues or classmates. And I give this assignment to, let's suppose, 10 of you. What would you do? I know all of us will visit that locality because all of us love meeting people. All of us will talk to those people. All of us will listen to their problems. All of us will sit together and brainstorm and find solutions to those problems and come here, analyze, prepare a case report, and all of us will come on stage and present it to the class. Sounds good? Fantastic effort. All right, let's take a different scenario. Let's suppose out of 10, there are 3 of you who are wonderful at communicating with people, hopefully girls, probably. And what would those 3 ladies do? They would go meet these people, interact with them, find out their problems, and come back and discuss with you. Maybe there are 2 of you who are very good at analytical skills, so you would be able to find out the solution to those problems. Another 2 of you are very good with your computer. You know how to prepare excellent presentations. And another 2 of you who are very good, who have very good, effective communication skills, who would come on stage and present. Would synergy and a better output be created in the second situation or in the first situation? I believe it would be in the second situation. But what happens throughout these years of education that we've gone through? We have learned to function as individuals, not as team players. But that's what all the companies need today. They need team players. Get my point? So I take you on to the next thing very quickly because I think I'm losing a lot of time now. The SWOT analysis. Your inner strengths, your inner weaknesses, the opportunities and threats in your environment. the strengths and weaknesses of your team members. You need to understand this because you are not going to be living in an isolated environment anymore. Change management. There is going to be, again, a transition in your life. You will be working with people from diverse backgrounds, in diverse environments, different cultures, different values, different company policies. So you need to inculcate the habit of moving from one situation to another as if it would be a reflex action. No big deal. New assignment, new curriculum, what's the big deal? I can take it on. Presentation skills, extremely important. In fact, there are some colleges, even MBA colleges, who have, in addition to the GD and PI, they even have a presentation round, whether it's a whiteboard presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. Group discussions, something we all know about. Very commonly asked question. If everybody is speaking and nobody stops speaking, how do I get in? How do I get my chance to speak? Very simple. Small tip I want to give you. Let's suppose there's a group discussion going on and one person just talks endlessly. What do? Watch that person. The moment he or she pauses for a breath, that is the time you glide in smoothly, without disruption, without sounding rude, without sounding arrogant. That is your time to move in. So we'll discuss lots and lots of such techniques and tips when we go through group discussion, art of listening, another very, very important thing. Because what is the, all right, a question over here. What is the sweetest word in the world? Do you know the answer to this? Well, I wish you were in front of me. Well, the sweetest word in the world for every individual is his or her own name. And the sweetest sound is his or her own voice. Did you ever think of this? Yes, we all crave to be heard. But all we do is yap, 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 yap. Talk, talk, and talk endlessly. So you need to start listening if you have to move on in life.